the only fair way to do that, to interpret the Constitution, is, in my opinion, is to have a diverse variety of viewpoints. Not only a diverse variety of viewpoints, but those that reflect the people's will, which therefore translates itself through whoever was elected president at that
But no, that's
time.
actually not the role of the Supreme Court. And I don't understand where I was being inconsistent.
Because you were talking about, like, obviously, we vote on certain things, and then the president nominates the Supreme Court justice. In actuality, we, most of the time, when we're not talking about local elections, we elect people to vote for us, and those people impose whatever they campaign for.
We elect people to represent us. They're representatives.
Yes, that's another way.
They don't have to poll us for every single vote. The poll takes place once, and we elect representatives. So I don't think there's anything inconsistent about what I've said. And this is also something that's important. Sorry, go ahead. If you don't want me to speak, that's okay.
No, it's fine. It's just that I would prefer to speak more freely without interruption. I think that a very, very large...
I'm sorry, do you feel like you've been interrupted? I feel like you've been speaking quite a bit.
I have been speaking quite a bit.
And I haven't been able to respond,
I have
but
been
go ahead.
speaking quite a bit, but then you ask me a question, and then I try to respond, and then I get cut off. I can let you speak after I'm just finished with this little thought, if you so please. But what I was saying is that we elect people to... you were saying that certain things lie within the jurisdiction for us to vote in, and then the president elects the Supreme Court. What I'm saying is that there isn't really so much of a difference between us electing the president.
I didn't say that, though. That's not me interrupting when you're misrepresenting what I've said. I never said the president elects the Supreme Court.
For me.
I never said the president elects the Supreme Court. I said that the president nominates and the Senate confirms or rejects. You said elects.
I said appoints.
Okay. He nominates and the Senate confirms or rejects.
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
So what I was trying to get to was the idea that, so obviously, when the president nominates, when the president nominates their specific, whoever they see as the justice, right? And it has to go through the Senate. What the thought process is that the Senate is usually mixed enough and diverse enough to a point where it can represent whatever it can kind of work as a mediary between the highest power in the nation, the president, and the people, obviously, because the Senate is something that we can vote on directly. And so, usually the logic is that, okay, I appoint my justice, and they pass through the Senate, and they go to the Supreme Court.
Can you clarify for me when you say I appoint my justice? Who's I?
Let's say that I'm the president, and I'm like, who should I nominate as a justice? This is some random person. And then they go to the Senate. The logic behind that is that the president we elect is reflecting the majority view of the country at that specific time. And so therefore, after the...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that with the thing that was buzzing.
Oh.
Who is representing the majority view? What were you...
Well, the president represents the majority vote of the Electoral College.
Okay.
Right? And so therefore, when they elect a Supreme Court justice, that will be reflective. If they get appointed, that will be reflected of that specific whoever the that'll be representative of whatever the people were feeling or believing at that specific time. And so the justices actually are, if you just get your head around that, the justices are representatives of the people, and being that they are representatives, it's their job to represent the will of whatever administration that may have been, which in turn is a representation of the majority at that specific time.
Well, I would argue,
in a sense,
I would argue that's incorrect and really scary when combined with your view of court packing. Because if you're saying that the Supreme Court's job is exclusively to represent
the specific justice who's being elected.
Remember the interrupting? Do we need to put a time ticker on this right now? So come on. I've been talking for a very long time. You've been talking for a very long time, and you've been very rude with interrupting. So let me finish what I am saying. I just let you go on for a long amount of time.
I'm an adult.
You can't demand respect and not offer respect.
Well, you don't need to talk to me like I'm a child. I would prefer if we have a very level civil discussion.
We can, but can you stop interrupting? You just earlier requested that I stop interrupting while I wasn't, and you were interrupting.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my presupposition here is that what you've just expressed is very scary for a litany of reasons. And those reasons are, when combined with your idea of court packing, And this notion that the job of a Supreme Court appointee is to exclusively represent the view of the executive who nominated them, that is why it is not simply an executive who actually elects them, which was the word that you used earlier. I think might have been a Freudian slip. You used the word elect, and that's the one area where I had to correct you. He can nominate and it can be confirmed by the Senate, because the Supreme Court is not meant to be a governing body. It is meant to be exclusive, separate and apart from the House of Congress, from the Senate, from the United States presidency, to be impartial. It is not meant to represent the majority will of the people. It is meant to interpret the Constitution. And so if you have this ill-conceived notion, I would argue, that their job is to represent that of the executive who nominated them, and that we should increase the number of these people under the authority of an executive who would nominate more, that is an absolute recipe for an authoritarian regime.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.